broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads from over 200 countries and your #1 source in after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it is.
This reminds me of my childhood.
Me too. So nostalgic.
Guys, thank you for tuning in. This is the after show for MasterChef here at AFTERBUZZ TV. We are covering Season 5, Episode 14, Top 7 Compete. A bitter end to a sad story.
Yeah, I'm not watching anymore.
I know, that was a sad ending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was not the way to go out for one of our favorites.
No.
But we're doing the theme from Free Willy.
He was freed.
He was freed from the bounds of Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, Big Willie can leave now.
Ramsay's wrath.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Stephen Lemieux here, joined by my amazing co-hosts. I haven't been here in 2 weeks, but they've been holding down the fort. Miss Traci Propst.
Hi, guys.
And the ever wonderful Kyle Kittleson.
Hello.
Love it.
And we're done.
And we're done. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Buzz you later.
Okay, so this episode starts out, we get another mystery box challenge. We haven't had that in a while, but we get letters before that,
Yeah.
where they get a little taste of home, because, you know, this is coming on the end now. We only have 2 episodes left, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because the finale, I think, is on the 13th of September.
You might be right.
So
Here we go.
That's insane. So we're going to go from 6 people to a winner.
To a winner.
Okay.
A winner. I don't know. I'm excited. I think the season's been progressing fairly well so far. But anyway, they get letters. Elizabeth gets one from her husband, Courtney from her mom, Cutter from his dad, Lizzie from his family, Willie from his grandma, Christian from his fiance, and Jamie doesn't talk for 30 minutes in the episode.
Yeah,
Jamie, did she get any letters, or was she the only one who didn't? Because she was the only one who they didn't point out and say who.
They literally would not feature her. It was about actually 30 minutes into the 1-hour episode before she said one word.
Yeah.
And even then, it was like hating on Leslie.
It was just like, okay. It was just a response to Leslie.
No.
Willie got a lot of letters.
Yeah, he got a ton of letters.
And he said it was from his grandmother, but I'm pretty sure he got like letters from his whole family.
Everyone, yeah. I wonder if they each got a ton and then just read one, picked a specific one. But.
Yeah.
I would hope so. You'd
Yeah.
think that like more than one person would want to send you a letter while you're on MasterChef.
Yeah, and that's got to be, I mean, some of the contestants that have called into the show and talked about the months that they're there doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And you're cut off from society and you're cut off from your family and all you're doing is making this show and being in these stressful situations. So to get that break, even though it's on camera and all that, to just read a letter from something familiar to you, from someone familiar to you, has got to be just, I mean, they all cried. They all cried.
Yeah.
And I know that when I'm in a secluded place and I can't reach any of my friends and, you know, I get a letter, I always like to talk about how much the Philips air fryer helps me in those situations.
Yeah. Fox laid out some marketing on this one.
Yeah.
Fox does 2 things really well. Or I won't say really well. They do it a lot. Hashtags. They hashtag everything. Like hashtag Courtney's
hashtag
walking. Yeah. Hashtag commercial break. Like
hashtag Elizabeth is falling.
Yeah. And then they do product placement really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for
you know,
Gordon.
I mean, I just don't know what I'd do without knowing about the Philips air fryer.
You'll never have to know.
You can get the greatest temperatures on the inside and a nice even cook.
So now what are we doing here? Are we also advertising for
You got
Philips,
it.
or
You know, I would never advertise for the Philips air fryer that you can buy at Walmart.
Or use the AFTERBUZZ Amazon link.
Or use the AFTERBUZZ Amazon link. You know, because if you do want to use the
Oh
Philips
my
air
gosh.
fryer,
It was like
now
over
this
a
is
little
becoming
bit ago.
okay, so let's jump in what we're even talking about.
which is iTunes. Guys, go to iTunes, rate and comment, subscribe, give us 5 stars. We'll give you guys shout outs on the air.
And if you don't feel like giving 5 stars right now, just wait. We're gonna get
Yeah, we'll get
it
better.
back. We're gonna get it back.
You know, usually I'd be super, like, really into the show, but at this point, I'm just really sad that Willie's gone.
Well, I also feel like, I thought maybe you would bring this up, that was probably the most boring episode we've had so far.
You know, it really was not. It didn't, like, focus on anything.
They needed... I wanted a location, or I wanted a bigger twist. I wanted something more. I thought the editing was actually really great. Traci and I both commented on how great the editing was.
That's
But
the thing,
episode itself was just blah.
The editing was great, but when you look at the editing, like, they really didn't ask the cooks any questions. They didn't, like, talk to them at all. There wasn't really any drama except for Leslie and Jamie. And the editing was all action, so it was literally you can't really recap editing. You can't recap action. It's basically, hey guys, you watched the show, so you know exactly what you saw. We can't talk about what you really saw.
But if you are watching these cooking reality shows for the cooking, then this has got to be your favorite episode so far, because there was lots of pans. The cooking, lots of pans, lots of steam, lots of
dim sum.
But even then, like, I didn't really they didn't really focus on how you were cooking each dish. It was more like people yelling at each other, camera back and forth, switch, camera back and forth, switch, and then suddenly it's either it's made and it either looks good or terrible.
Right.
Like, we didn't really see them go into the technical details of it at all.
So let's go into the first mystery box challenge.
Okay, so the first mystery box challenge is apples are everywhere. So naturally, we all assume they're going to be playing a game of apples to apples, but no, they actually have to make an apple dish in 60 minutes, and everyone's like, I'm going to make a pie, I'm going to make a fritter, I can make a mean-ass apple cookie, and they're like, you can't make a dessert. So that's basically the handicap. You cannot make a dessert. And Courtney immediately goes for that Phillips air fryer to make something. Willie's stuffing stuffed mushrooms. Cutter's making wild rice stuffed squab because he's a hunter. I mean, it's kind of similar to pheasant, if that makes sense, like a duck and pheasant. Christine's apple prosciutto and cheese stuffed pork tenderloin with peel of apple. Elizabeth is making a hand pie with Granny Smith apples. I kind of wanted to see what the judges thought of that. That was the only real one that I was like, oh, something interesting. It's a hand pie. Everyone else is making pork. Because naturally when you go to apples, you go to pork.
Absolutely.
Because it takes the flavor. Pork has a sweetness to it that goes really well with.
I was surprised that no one made a Waldorf salad.
Yeah, right when I said lettuce, I was like, oh, somebody's making like a salad, like a nice fresh salad. I thought that would have been a great idea with like an apple cider vinegar dressing or something like that.
I've never made a Waldorf salad, so maybe it's too difficult, but I would assume that would be a nice, easy side to complement, like showcase the apples.
Well, I think if they did that, maybe it would just have been, you know, maybe like a salmon Waldorf salad, like a salmon salad.
Oh, right, yes.
But with that.
Yes.
Because I feel like you would have needed something substantial, or the judges would have been like,
it's a side.
It's
an
a salad.
appetizer.
Right.
Where's your protein?
Yeah.
Where's your starch?
Well, all 6 or 7, all 7 of them for the Mystery Box Challenge produced stunning dishes. There wasn't anyone there where they said, y'all are gross, or
the only one
like
they kind of didn't like was Elizabeth's. They were not impressed with her hand pies. They were like, would you serve this in your restaurant? No.
True.
Would you serve this in your restaurant? No.
Well,
And
he said, are you serving that in your restaurant?
Okay.
And he
Yeah.
said no. So I feel like she was pushing the envelope.
I know, but
Yeah.
I like hand pies.
it would have
I
been
think
interesting to try.
Yeah.
Definitely, I wish, but
Leslie's looked the best to me. Honestly, the stuffed pork tenderloin with the apples and cheese wrapped in the bacon with the mash on underneath it with the apple mash. Wait, no, that was it was the apple mash with those. I thought that looked the best. I would order that in the restaurant.
Yeah, he
over
put it through the
Courtney's.
ricer. And Joe, the judge, said that he's always so impressed with his high quality technique. And I think this is my hypothesis. And Leslie lives here in Malibu. I wish he would come on the show and prove this or not. But I feel like he's had a lot of, I don't know, higher level culinary training. Maybe because he comes from a more affluent background. So he can do these things like put potatoes or the apple mash together through a rice strainer, where the other home cooks are more doing your typical home cook. They haven't had like culinary training necessarily.
that's true. He might have been exposed to I think maybe a little bit higher.
I don't think it's like higher culinary training. I think it's more just they asked him and he's like, yeah, I cooked for my family like every day. Like when you're cooking for a family all the time, especially when you're trophy husband, I mean,
But he might also be going to really nice seafood restaurants in Malibu,
and then replicating,
and saying that's awesome, I'm going to try it.
That's what
Meanwhile,
I'm
Willie
thinking.
might just not be doing those things
Yeah.
and not have been exposed to that that technique or that concept.
That's true. I just don't think he's really had like hands-on training before the show.
Yeah, maybe not.
Can we talk about what Ramsey said to him, that he was
talk
like
about it.
the appendix, that everyone wanted him out of the competition? But
But
week in, week again, he proves himself to be getting even better. And I can 100% agree with that. I've definitely seen Leslie like rise to different heights as the seasons continue.
Well, he eats oatmeal for breakfast.
Every
It
day.
keeps him regular.
Yep.
And his biggest downfall isn't his ability to cook. It is his ability to work with other people or have people want to work with him. And this isn't, like we've talked about, Hell's Kitchen, where you have to learn to manage people and run a restaurant. This whole show is, are you a good cook? Can you be a chef? And Leslie can't. He's never not done well food-wise. He's
Yeah.
always put up great stuff.
I think he's in it to win it.
Yeah.
And you know, from when he didn't give anything away to us when me and Zach met him. But like, I mean, from what we understood when we met him, we thought he was going home the next week. But I mean, all he said was, "I do all right." And yeah, he's been doing all right in the show. So like, I don't know how far he'll go, but he's a front runner for sure. And
Absolutely.
From seeing this show, from seeing it, how he carried his team at the end there with the dim sum, it seemed like he was carrying it anyway. I don't know if it was just Jamie did one dish or whatever, but it seemed like he knew exactly what he was doing, and he was just annoyed by Jamie. And of course, he doesn't work well with others, of course. And after watching the episode from 2 weeks ago with Jamie as the team captain not being able to communicate well, I feel like that just probably made him, from 2 weeks ago, probably he was just like, I can't listen to her because she can't communicate well anyway. So I need to just focus on what I'm going to do because I'm not even going to be able to understand what she's saying anyway.
Right.
And I don't mean that as like a dig to Jamie. I just mean that as like some people, it's very difficult to understand how they're phrasing things and how they're trying to tell you how to do things.
Well, regardless of any of our opinions on these chefs, clearly they have competed and done well enough to make it to the top 7. And ironically, to jump ahead a little bit, Jamie and Leslie are the only ones who had an acceptable dish. The only ones.
Like, what the
Yeah.
hell?
And everyone else, we were led to believe we're going to kill it in a good way. And Leslie and Jamie were going to be terrible, and the reverse happened.
You know, and so
is that because of Leslie? Is that because of Jamie? Or is it because they both actually did work well together, even though it was chaotic?
well, let's get to that in just a moment. Let's just say the front runners in the thing. Of course, Courtney wins the elimination. Wins the mystery box challenge.
Oh, yeah, we hadn't even
Yeah, we hadn't gotten there yet.
I'm just gonna let you guys go.
Elizabeth,
Tracy, be
Elizabeth,
quiet.
you have to stab kittens now, and I hope you're happy that you have to stab kittens now. Because if Courtney wins this mystery box challenge, she's going to stab kittens.
What was the animal abuse reference?
I know,
Like, I
what?
get that they're cooking lamb and chickens and cows and all that, but we don't have to stab a
The
cat.
dish is absolutely meowing right now.
That was a lot, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Easy.
Rude.
A little bit too much, especially when you say things like that, Courtney's going to. I bet the editor's just like, yes!
Oh, yeah.
I love that she said this because we know Courtney won. So, yeah, Courtney used apples in, like, literally every part of her dish. So, of course, the judge is going to be like, all right, here you go. You get to win. So she gets to, by the way, new graphic for the elimination test. They've never really called it elimination test before, that big graphic on the screen.
Oh, I know. I didn't even notice it.
So they tell her everyone's making dim sum. They're making hargao, which is a shrimp dumpling. It's a very thin wrapping on a shrimp dumpling. It's a rice wrapping. Shumai, which is a pork dumpling. Something's in my throat. And then short rib buns. So you want the short rib to be really like shredded beef on top of the like a pork bun. I don't know if they were
It
steaming
looks
the
like
bun.
a taco.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's such a thick like casing for a taco.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
Well, it's not actually a casing. It's just like it's literally like bread.
And it's not actually a taco. So that might be why.
Could be a taco, yeah. And then pot stickers, which are vegetables or pork and vegetables. I don't know. There was like a miscommunication.
Yeah, that was
Leslie
never-
thought it was just
never-
vegetables.
That was never declared one way or the other.
Yeah, you can order them either way every time you go to a restaurant. So that's the test. Courtney gets to choose the teams. She wants to choose people who are not good at working together, and she pairs up Christian and Willie. Racist.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Yep. That's what I thought when that happened.
Oh my God, no. Cutter and Elizabeth, and Leslie and Jamie. So literally, like, so so much editing, so little actually getting to learn about these dishes during this. I literally have 2 notes for each team. Christian and Willie. Christian is rushing Willie. Christian is yelling at Willie. Cutter and Elizabeth. Elizabeth is directing Cutter. Elizabeth falls. I'm okay. Leslie and Jamie. I've never felt so stressed. Fighting. She's a bit OCD. Jamie says she won't talk. Leslie is getting annoyed with Jamie. That's like all the notes I had for this competition. I usually have like a page for the elimination.
You do have a lot of notes normally. This time, they
Well,
had to
first,
cut
can
you
I
off.
back up a little bit? I want to talk about Courtney's strategy with pairing the people that she did together.
Yeah.
So when she gets this as like her, like, oh, this is for you to do because you won the competition, I'm thinking, okay, well, everyone left is a really good chef. I really don't even know the strategy that she's going to use, but I guess this is where her being there day in and day out really comes in because she knows everyone. I was like, Christian and Willie will do amazing together. They're both amazing. Like, and look what happened. So, I mean, she knew exactly what she was doing with these pairings. And I was like, okay, they're all great. So you can just put whoever you want together. It's not going to really be an advantage. Or
Who do you think she wanted to go?
Elizabeth.
Right.
I think she wanted either Elizabeth or Willie.
What? You think she wanted Willie to go?
Yeah.
I think it would have been Leslie or Elizabeth.
I think at
as
this
her
point in the
challenge.
competition, Elizabeth and Willie are kind of like the main competition. In
So
my opinion.
who would you have paired?
Who would I have paired? I probably would have put Cutter with Leslie. I would have put Jamie with Elizabeth and Christian with Willie.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Cutter and Leslie would have been very interesting to watch, actually. But
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, or Cutter with Jamie because they both can't communicate to save their lives. That would have been one too. But I mean, even though it's hard with like only 6 people and they're all top chefs, you don't really know. So you're right. Like without having been there and knowing them this entire time, you don't really know their strengths and weaknesses. This was the first time I've really seen Christian kind of go ape crap on somebody, though. Like, he was yelling. He was being kind of a dick to Willie. Willie was kind of scramble-brained because, yeah, he moves slow and Christian moves 100 miles an hour. So she was right to put them together as if she's trying to give them a disadvantage.
Yeah.
The only other time I've seen Christian yell at somebody was when Cutter was eating food back during the beach challenge for the wedding.
Yeah.
So...
But it was funny because Willie immediately off the bat was like, I want to be paired with Christian. Like, he thought that was going to be a good move. And then when he was like, I'm so excited. And Christian's like, I'm good. And that was that. And we were like, okay, this is going to be an interesting dynamic.
What was that?
Who would Christian have wanted to be paired with?
I know.
Elizabeth. Of course. That's who everyone wants to get paired with.
Why would Christian be mad at getting paired with
I don't know
Willie?
either. I don't
know.
idea.
I think Christian might have just been so in the game and so focused. He's like, cool, I'm good. Yeah, whatever, bring it. What's the challenge? I'm good. But I think, and I don't, well, I do, okay, ready. Jamie is the weak link for a team competition. She's the weakest one for all of them.
Yeah.
So I think strategically putting Jamie with whoever is who she wanted to get rid of. And that's why I think she wants to get rid of Leslie or Elizabeth, but I think primarily Leslie because she gave Jamie Leslie. Jamie's a great chef, great cook, but she doesn't do well in teams. She never has. She's never thrived in a team scenario.
And neither does Leslie.
Right, that's true, yeah.
But Jamie was a little bit
when
more
they're together.
vocal this time. I mean, as opposed to just kind of sitting back and letting Leslie run the show. She
complained about it?
She complained. I mean, yeah, you're right. It wasn't productive. Like,
at least she was complaining a lot.
At least we heard her voice instead of her just sitting there, which I kind of expected her to completely fall back.
The problem came when she was criticizing what Leslie was doing instead of asking him to do something to prep for her. Like, what she should have been doing was asking him to do something to get it ready for her to go in there, as opposed to telling him, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. Because he's already doing it. It doesn't matter if he's doing it wrong
I don't know.
at this point.
She said, like, don't use all those vegetables. And he said, no, I'm going to. She said, make sure you prep that. And he's like, I'm not going to. Jamie's such an easy person not to listen to.
True.
So I don't know if I would listen to her. If I was, like, in this scenario and I'm like, I've got to do this my way. I've got to
The editors certainly didn't for the first 30 minutes of the show. So.
Yeah.
True.
Like, you guys, Jamie.
I mean, I'm saying. So.
Hey, but Jamie's there, top 6.
She is.
Please. Hey, who do I say is going to go home next week? Every week. Jamie. Every week. I say that. And every week I'm wrong.
Every week I say Cutter, and every week I'm wrong.
Clearly, we would be terrible judges.
Obviously, or clearly would be better judges. Because I do not think
better.
Willie should have gone home today.
Actually,
Absolutely
I don't think
not.
Willie should have gone home.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
Who out there is saying, "Oh, yes, finally, I'm glad he's gone"? Nobody.
one.
You know-
if you are out there, leave a YouTube comment or tweet one of
Tell
us
us why.
because that is no one is saying that. Everyone is going, I'm less excited to watch the next episode because Willie's not in it.
It's
Yeah.
the game, though. Honestly, it's the game, because I go back to when Victoria and Aaron both went home, and I'm like, out of everyone in that episode, they didn't deserve to go home, but the only reason they did was because their team lost. If the blue team had lost in that episode, it would have been completely different.
But between Christian and
Thank
Willie,
you. Well,
Between
Christian and Willie, and then even Elizabeth and Cutter, because those were the bottom 4.
like, yeah, exactly. Elizabeth Cutter, you're up for an elimination. Cutter goes home.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Done.
There's no scenario where I go, that makes sense. Willie should go home.
Right.
And I'm so confident that nobody feels differently about that. Nobody will.
Yeah.
Nobody will.
I don't think anyone's
Nobody.
going to
Except the
No.
other 6 contestants. They, I'm sure, were very happy with the
Oh,
outcome.
yeah, but still, Willie going home was
Doesn't
just
make
like,
any sense.
what?
He
And
was
if you
top
took-
3 at least. That's where,
Yeah.
maybe top 3 I could be like, okay, someone
agree.
else did. But no way. No way
Yeah.
does he go home on top 7 compete.
Yeah, number 7. And not even if you took skill set aside, it doesn't make sense to take him away from a rating component either because he's such a fan favorite. Like, everybody loves Willie. So I don't get it.
Nick, can you turn on Skype, please?
We're going to Skype someone.
I'm having Willie call in right now.
Willie.
Oh my God! Why didn't I get this? It says he messaged me on Twitter 55 minutes ago, but it didn't show up till now. Anyway, hopefully.
Stay tuned, everyone.
Yeah, we'll stay tuned for it.
I think Willie could parlay this experience on MasterChef into a career. If that is a cookbook for, food for the soul, if that is a other appearances and other shows, or if that's just him doing private catering or private chefing.
I mean, I think Willie's going to be successful regardless.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because he's got a look, he's got a brand, he got an image. Like, he's not just this bland
whole
person.
package.
He's the whole package. Exactly.
because he should make the altitude cookbook. Attitude determines altitude. Take your cooking to a higher level.
Yeah,
Boom.
there you
know
go.
who I thought of when he said that was Chef Brian
mood is your food.
Duffy. Yeah, when the mood is your food.
I don't want to talk about that now. I want to ask you off camera, like, how was it?
Oh,
meeting?
Brian Duffy is amazing.
Okay.
Watch the previous episode.
2 episodes
Two
ago.
episodes ago,
Yeah.
to see
Yeah,
him. He's
nice
he's
guy, great on bar rescue. So let me go back to my notes real quick here. I mean, again, like, I don't even have to worry about us chatting really because, like,
It's kind of.
there's nothing to talk about for the episode really. And
Don't even listen because there's nothing to talk about.
No, I mean enjoy
So-
us talking about this because usually we're so busy talking about the recap. But yeah, I mean the winning team is Leslie and Jamie, and honestly, this is the first time Gordon didn't play up suspense or anything because it's just so obvious that the other 2 teams dim sum. And you know what baffles me is that it wasn't like 3 of the 4 things were bad and 1 was actually really good. It was like all of them were bad altogether. Nothing was good on either of the plates. You can just talk, Nick. If he's on the line, you can just... Oh, okay. It's like all of them were bad. Like, there wasn't even, like, pork buns on this one were good, but, the shumai was bad, but the shrimp dumplings were good. It was like everything was bad. Like, one person on the team could have at least made one dish cohesively that came together, and maybe we had at least one set of dumplings that was
Right.
great.
Yeah, that's
Nothing was
true.
good on either team.
I think they were trying to do too much at one time. And
Yeah.
they should have been like, all right, you 2 just focus on this. You 2, I mean, I feel like that would have been maybe a more productive way to do it. Because it seems like that's kind of what Leslie did. So I feel like that would have been a more productive way to handle it. But instead, I think they kind of were just all in the moment and rushing around and very scrambled, which ended up turning into a disaster. I mean, Christian's burning stuff, Willie's not wrapping things,
Or ripening
seasoning,
them.
Or
Idiots.
ripening them, yes.
or ripening the apples that he has. I don't know. I just saw a lot of like clumsiness going on, and it was really sad. I got really upset when Christian was yelling at Willie, and I don't think he was trying to be mean or aggressive. I think it was just his style.
Yeah, he wanted to get it going. And when Willie said sorry, Christian, Willie responded with, or no, Willie said sorry, Christian, and Christian responded with, it's cool, man, let's do it.
Yeah.
So Christian isn't like this dramatic guy. He's just in the moment, really focused and trying to get it done.
Rough around the edges. I think that's what Ramsey actually how to describe. I thought that was a perfect way to describe him.
Yeah, and when Ramsey's describing the two of them, even then, I don't want to belabor this point, but even then I'm thinking, right, so Christian's going.
Yeah.
Because there's no, I don't know. And Christian, it's not like we don't dislike you. It's just like we like Willie a little bit more.
But what's very interesting is that Willie, when asked who he thought he was going to win, he says Christian.
And I thought he was going to say Leslie.
I thought he was going to say Courtney.
Courtney, yeah. See, everyone loves Willie.
And he says Christian. So what does that say?
And he said he always had believed that and thought that.
That was not a new notion. Like, okay, Christian beat me, and I was the best, so obviously Christian deserves to win.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
no.
The only way. Well, but he had never mentioned, I don't think, in other episodes, saying that he thought Christian would win.
I don't think we've had anyone call in, come in, anything, say that they've thought Christian would be the top contender. I haven't heard anyone say it. That was the first I'd heard someone say. And Christian.
And I don't think Christian will win. And I don't mean we need to go into predictions, but I just
yeah, we don't need to
thought.
yet.
So are we getting Willie on the phone to Skype with him?
I'm trying to right now, so we can just keep stalling.
Oh, we're stalling.
We're basically stalling right now.
What is going on with this after show?
We're not stalling. We can just talk about the other topics.
Yes.
Yeah, the other
Here's the other thing in the show that I commented on twice. And please, if you are listening, tell me if you noticed this and what you thought about it. But it was Graham's very active response to the challenge. He is
the jumping and leaping.
But he's not jumping like up and down. He's jumping and then kicking his like heels to his butt. Like that's how he's jumping. And then he's waving and he goes, the lids. I go, what? This guy just had a Red Bull and like some sugar and then got really excited because he was on TV.
I think it literally just showed how much tension and like for second they were at this point in the competition when they're literally both like 10 seconds switch, last time to switch, go. And he's like literally like experiencing it with them, which I thought was awesome.
Graham was like a little 10-year-old boy. Like that's what he reminded me of. And
I finally found Willie's number in my emails.
Okay.
So now Nick is going to call Willie.
Please hold.
So we're going to call.
Oh, great. He's here.
Oh, he's on the line.
Hello, Willie.
Willie, we got you.
Hello.
Hi.
We're so
How
sad.
are you?
Oh
Are you
my God.
okay?
Hello, how are y'all?
We're not good.
Yeah, we're pretty sad, Willie.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know. Children of children.
Willie, how are you feeling watching tonight's episode?
You know, I originally felt it was like a bittersweet moment because it felt like I let some of my fans down. Those that have been rooting me on and was like, oh, you're going to win this season. You know, it's hard to keep saying, oh, just watch when you know what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah.
I felt bad for that reason. But after all of that, my initial reaction from when I was recording the show came through. Like, you know, it's been so many times where you see reality TV where the person that doesn't win always does better than the person that actually won because of their attitude and how they treated people.
Yes.
And so, you know, I'm gone, but there are great things that's going to be happening for Big Willie, so I'm not bothered.
We don't doubt that at all.
No. I don't know if you've been listening to this show right now, but big things for Big Willie for sure. We've said that you have so many opportunities to make a career after this just because you are the total package, as Traci so politely put. What do you think you deserve to go home tonight?
What's your question?
Do you think that you deserved to go home tonight?
Oh, wow. I don't think that we should have been actually in the bottom. I think that Elizabeth and Cutter should have been in the bottom. But I do know that when you're dealing with reality TV, drama makes TV. So
Absolutely.
Do you keep the person that can cook but has no drama, or do you keep the person that don't cook but every week they have drama?
Right.
That's true.
So is that you saying that Cutter should have been the one who went home?
Well,
that's what
you
I'm saying.
said it. I didn't say
Oh, I said it. Let me say
I
it.
didn't say nothing.
I say it every week, Willie. I'm like, out of you, and I said the exact same thing. I'm like, first of all, Willie and Christian should not have been in the bottom. It should have been Elizabeth and Cutter, and then Cutter could have left. Like, that's how I feel.
Well, can I say this too, Traci? Not only that me and Christian shouldn't have not been in the bottom, but I don't even think that me and Christian should have been on the same team together.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
And I'm saying that because, you know, there's always like this articulative motive with people in the competition. But had that been, say, me and Jamie together or Christian and Cutter together, that outcome could have been different.
Do you think Cutter could have sabotaged you? Is that what you're... I mean, not Cutter. Do you think Christian had something against you when you guys were on a team that could have...
No, I personally don't have anything against Christian.
He's saying Courtney paired them together, and they
Yeah,
probably
that's
should
what
have.
I'm saying. She did that to try and put tension between me and him because she know how he worked and she know how I work. But as she paired me with somebody like Jamie, where we're both like cool, calm, and collective, and she put two strong A-type personalities like Christian and Cutter together, then I think that the outcome would have easily been changed.
Now, was it Fox's editing? Because they did have you saying that you were excited to work with Christian.
Oh, I was originally, you know, excited to work with him. His face looked like he didn't want to work with me.
Right.
Yeah, he
but
didn't.
I was excited. I was excited to work with him simply because the entire season, the judges kept saying who has the best profile, who has the best flavor profile, and it was always me. And then he would be like, well, you know, I could beat you in a cook-off, Willie. And so it was like a little competitiveness between us two, but it was never like something that would affect us personally outside of the kitchen, if that makes sense.
Right.
You know? It was just something between us two, and I respect him totally. And that's why, you know, at the end I said I would like to see him win, and I was almost crying. I don't know if y'all heard that, but yeah, I was, my goodness.
So tell me about when you had to like take a seat after you guys switched and when you were kind of feeling a little bit overwhelmed. How did you ground yourself when you're in a situation that is so intense like that and your emotions are kind of getting the better of you and you're just kind of, I think, kind of on the edge of kind of breaking? How do you ground yourself to get back to that focus that you had when you switched back in?
I had to tell my grandma. I know it sounds so like blah, like really, that's the answer you're gonna give us.
Thanks for that Lifetime movie quote.
It's so true. I was overwhelmed. One, because I've come from a line of leaders. My grandma graduated in top of her class, top 2% of her class from college. My mom graduated top in her class. I was always the president of some type of organization. So I've come from a line of leaders. But the way that the way I was taught to lead was you didn't have to yell and cuss and belittle somebody to get your point across. So with all that cussing and yelling, I felt like, okay, hold on. I think at this moment we're on the same team together.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you feel like you need to talk to me this kind of way? So in a sense, I wanted to just disconnect. And then after I talked to Chef Ramsay, and he was like, well, really, I need you to focus, this and that. Then I was like, okay, what would my grandma do at this moment? You know,
Right.
She would get in. She was like, it's bigger than you. Just finish the competition, and then whatever happens, it happens.
Right.
You know, and that's what got me through it, and that's why you see me come on, Christian, let's do this, because we went in, or I did at least, go into the competition with a winning mentality. Even though I've never made dim sum before, my mindset was to win. So I had to finish as, hey, you still need to win.
Right.
Of course, it didn't happen. It sucks.
Well, Willie, I have a question for you. Now, you kind of, for lack of better words, blame Courtney for going home. Now, that was a strategic thing that she did, putting you and Christian together. Can you really blame her for that in a competition, or how do you feel?
You know, yes, it's a competition, and from day one, people are going to play the game to best suit them. Which, if that's how you want to play it, that's how you play it. But I do say that you need to have at least some type of compassion or show some type of heart. Sometime, you know, it don't always have to be you're out to get somebody or trying to prove something. That's just me. So however she want to play it is totally fine. But do I agree with it all the time? No.
Yeah, I think that's what sets you apart, though. So I think that's why you do have such a big following and fan base, because you are that kind person who, you know, you're like, you know, no matter what, the best cook's going to win, so I'm just going to let the game go how it should. So.
And I think that's smart for a longer-term game plan, because you have such national exposure now from being on this super popular TV show, and you were going to leave the show at some point. It was either as a winner or not as a winner, but regardless,
exactly.
If you're liked, now you can parlay that into, you know, a career, because you have this strong following. If Courtney wins the show, she may have notoriety for a little bit of time for being the winner, but she will. I don't believe she will ever have a following like you do right now, because of your attitude and who you are as a person.
Because attitude is altitude.
Yes.
Your attitude determines your altitude. That is the realest thing that I have ever been taught. I live it from day to day. When you wake up in the morning, you should tell yourself, I need to treat people right.
Yeah.
When you go to bed, how did I treat people right today? How did I treat people today? And that ultimately determines how far you're going to make it.
Willie, I think a lot of people listening, and I'm one of these people, find it very fascinating on what happens behind the cameras, the stuff that we don't get to see. And we asked Francis this question, and he kind of didn't really answer, and I'm hoping you can. When you are kicked off the show and you say goodbye to the other contestants and you say goodbye to the judges, what happens next?
What happens next?
Yes.
You go home.
So what do you mean? You go to the hotel you're staying at, pack up your bags, get on a plane, and go home?
That's pretty much it. You know, they still have a competition to do. So it's nice knowing you, nice doing what you got to do. See you next. You know,
wow.
it's you know, it's one of those things. The way you see it on TV is actually how it is, as far as like the whole going home. When you put that apron down, it's basically, okay, your time in the MasterChef kitchen is done. Wow. You know.
It's good to know that there is some reality left in reality TV.
So you know, and it's we get caught up in like editing, and sometimes editing can be a bitch because there's so many things that is left out and so many things that is said that you don't see. But people can't edit what you don't give them.
Right? Yeah.
So true.
And that's why you didn't have drama.
If you give them the drama, then you can't blame it. Oh, that's the editing. No, because that's your reality. Your reality is you're full of drama, and so they're going to use it.
Yep.
That's an extremely, extremely good point. I have another question for you. How is it to have so many fans and everyone rooting you on, and you not being able to tell them that you're not the winner, and keeping that secret for so long throughout the season?
You know, I get asked that question so many times, and, people want to know, well, did you win? Or then when they see me, it's like, well, you didn't win, so tell me who won. And my first thing is, if you can give me $150,000, and I can give you the answer right now. And once I say that, then they don't want to know who won. Well, I just watch it, because after I tell you, and it comes out that I said something, and we have to do all these fines and all this stuff, then, I'm out. So if you can pay me, then I could just pay my legal fees, and then bam, we're all happy.
Yeah, I got $50, so
Yeah, there you go. You're almost
close.
$50 ain't gonna do absolutely nothing.
So
Keep that, Kyle.
That's this call right here.
So I want to ask two questions. I've only remember one right now because I've been thinking about it for a while. One of them is, what has the fan response been since you got voted off tonight? Like, your Twitter must have been a complete uproar. Like, what are people saying to you on Twitter right now?
My Twitter actually crashed a couple of times tonight.
Wow.
As I was trying to tweet, I make it a habit every week to tweet every single person that says something to me. Like, I may be up to 3 in the morning, but I respond to everything. Well, after leaving, after getting put off the show tonight, it just like crashed. I mean, every second somebody was saying something, and I'm trying to tweet, lost them. But the thing that I saw the most was, you are a person that stayed true to yourself. You don't need to feel bad about how you performed in the competition. Yes, you've had some ups, you've had some downs, but we as your fans, we're still behind you. We are still your MC Big Willie supporters, spite of everything, because we can connect to you. We can feel you, I told some of the contestants a while ago, they were like, well, we don't have as many followers. I said, well, it's all about going out and giving back to those people that are tweeting you all the time. They don't have to do it. So you should just say a simple, hello, how you doing? It don't cost you anything to do that.
Right.
And it's for that reason why I have as many Twitter followers that I have, because I do that. You're no greater than them. Yeah, you're on TV, but we all put our pants on one leg at a time. So when they see you, you shouldn't be so, oh, no, I don't want to take pictures. No, I don't want to do none of that. Yes, let's take pictures. Let's hug. Let's do whatever.
Absolutely.
Because that can simply change somebody's day from having a bad day to a good day, just knowing that, hey, one of my favorite people on MasterChef just spoke to me.
Agreed.
And that's what I've been getting all day, was those people that are behind me are still behind me regardless, and I love them 10 times what I've already did for that. And like I tweeted today, I feel like I let them down. And it's like, no, you never let us down. You're still number one to you're still number one to us. There's no way that you can leave the show and we won't still talk to you. Like, the support has really been amazing. And I personally want to thank each and every one of y'all. I know, is this Kyle?
Yes,
Kyle
I'm here.
There?
Yep.
Kyle, Traci, Steven, and Zach. I want to personally thank you all. I listen every week. Sometimes y'all make y'all comments and I just be wanting to say, no, that's not how it went. But, due to all the stuff that is put together, y'all have always been supportive of Big Willie, and I thank you all. And when I am in L.A., I'm going to cook y'all a banging ass meal.
This is being recorded, so don't say something you can't keep.
Drink, and we're going to have us a good time.
Love it.
That sounds
I
great.
promise y'all.
Love it, love it, love it. Well, we are clearly huge fans of yours.
Yeah.
That's so awesome, Willie. And I have to ask 2 questions. I have to ask 2 questions.
If you got questions, I have answers.
Okay, well, you might not be able to answer them because you might be tied up in legal issues if you do. Willie, in Hell's Kitchen, they bring back the eliminated chefs for the end of the season. Can you tell us if you're going to be back on the show for the end of this season?
I can say this. You have to continue to watch. And hold on. There are going to be some surprises. And there are going to be some awesome moments, but you just have to watch.
Well,
All right.
let's
Either
take
yes
it.
or no.
You better stop teasing me like
And
that.
I do have one more question. We're 5 seasons into MasterChef now. Usually with reality TV shows, this is around the time where season 6 or season 7 is going to be an all-star season.
Ooh.
Have you been approached to take part in an all-star season of MasterChef?
I have not been approached.
Well, Fox,
Get on that.
it. Gosh.
I have not been approached on that. I do know that they are having a season 6 casting call,
They are.
which I will be in San Antonio September the 20th to show my support for those that are auditioning for season 6.
Nice.
So maybe it's not season 6, maybe it's season 7. We just ain't got that far yet. I don't know. But if I was to be approached, would I do it again? Totally.
All right.
That's a good answer.
And would I change anything? Hell no.
Just not work with Christian.
Probably learn how to make dim sum, too.
Oh, well. Can I just say that I love Chinese food to death. I love Japanese food, all of that great stuff. But I am going to let those people that have perfected dim sum keep that.
You do that.
That was a very politically correct way to say what you said, Willie. Good job.
Willie, I want to thank you so much for calling into the
Yes.
show. I know it was a little bit last minute, but I'm so glad we got you on the
Oh,
line.
no, thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, you're the best, Willie. We will reluctantly keep watching.
We want an
despite-
encore. Come back.
Yes, we hope you come back, but
Yeah,
we'll of course
and
stay in touch.
This is not the last Big Willie. Just to put something out there, there are some other opportunities that have approached,
Of course.
and y'all may be seeing me soon.
Hey,
Yay!
I'll buy your book. So
All right, Willie, well,
Well-
thank you again, and thanks for calling in, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon. Maybe on the show if there's another night where we don't have a guest, we'd totally love to have you back.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a great night, and thank you for having me.
bye,
Thank
Willie.
you. Bye, Willie.
All right, guys, that was, of course, you know who that was. It was Big Willie, Willie Mike from MasterChef Season 5. You can follow him on Twitter at MC5Willie. Definitely do that because he has 6,187 Twitter followers at the moment. So you need to make that
And he does
one more
reach
than
out to you.
before. He does. He
Yeah.
responds every
Every
time.
time I've
Best.
tweeted him, he makes a point to comment and reply.
And I do have to say this, guys, before we wrap up the show. I have talked with Cutter off air, and he's a nice guy. And he talks about like the editing and things like that. And he talks about his mannerisms and how it plays to the editing to make him appear how he is. And I know everyone says that, but from talking to him, he is a really nice guy, and we give him
Well,
a bad rep.
Let's get him on air and talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
and
have to
let's
hear
also
your
just
hearsay.
reference what Big Willie said.
Hey.
If you don't give them drama, they can't make
I
it
know.
drama.
I'm just giving Cutter a shout
And
out
if you
'cause
suck at cooking, you suck.
he
at
he watches our show, he likes our show, and
now I feel bad.
he thinks
feel bad.
he absolutely hates Traci. No, I'm just kidding.
I would.
I'll say it to his face. Cutter, come on, let's do it.
All right, well, we'll try to get him on the show.
I'd love to get him on the show, actually.
Yeah, it would be good.
Guys, we've gone a lot longer than I thought we would for this episode.
Let's wrap
Thank you
it
so
up.
much for calling in, Big Willie, because that really kind of made this after
Made the
show
show.
worth listening to.
Great, Steven. Steven's in charge of all the
Steven
marketing.
will not be joining us next week. He's
Yeah,
kicked off the panel.
No,
Traci
I'm
and
just
I.
going to be too busy cooking with my new Philips air fryer, which just gets the great
God.
golden crisp brown on
Stop
tempura
right
shrimp.
now.
Guys, we will
Crap.
see you guys next week for the next after show for MasterChef. It will be season 5, episode 15. Top 6 compete. I have been your host for the evening, Stephen Lemieux, STPHENLEMIEUX on Twitter. Catch me on the Strain After Show Sundays and Graceland episode on After Show Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Only 3 more episodes left. 2 special guests coming up for that this season. And where can we find you guys?
You can find me on Instagram at TRACIPRO or on Twitter at TRACIABTV.
You can find me in Los Angeles or on Twitter at Kyle_Kittleson, KITTLESON as in Nathan. Yeah!
And
Yeah.
we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.